Hello, dear students. Today's class is on transposition of great arteries, or it is known as TGA. Okay, so transposition of great arteries, and the term itself very clear. What will be the condition? So the great arteries are transposed, or it is changing in position, or it is like great arteries. What are they? Aorta and the pulmonary artery. So aorta rises from right ventricle, and the pulmonary artery, the second great artery, originates from the left ventricle. So it is transpositioned. Okay. So this is the transposition of great arteries, and we can see in detail what is happening here. It is the most important cause of cyanosis in right at birth and or soon after birth. In tetralogy of Fallot, in last day's class, we have seen that the cyanosis will be present in TOF, but it may not be evident immediately after birth. Okay, but this is the transposition of great arteries, and the aorta is originating from right ventricle. So there is no chance of getting a small amount of pure blood from right ventricle, so that the aorta carries the impure blood. Definitely the child will be presenting the cyanosis. Okay, so it will be evident in the birth time itself, and the child is born with blue color. Okay, responsible for most of the mortality from cyanotic congenital heart disease in the first year of life. So when you're talking about the great arteries, the corrections will be difficult, and the prognosis also is very poor. So there's a highest chance of increased mortality rate comparing to other conditions. Okay, regarding the incidence, males are affected more frequently than females. The exact reason is don't know. And incidence of diabetes in grandparents is like significantly high. So in majority of the congenital defects, it's more seen in male than females. Okay, and when you are seeing the observing the child, birth weight is relatively large, though they gain poorly in subsequent months. So when the child is born, child will be a large baby, but gaining of weight after birth will be poor. So slowly the child will be going for malnourished condition. So this is about the birth weight of the child. So we can see transposition of great arteries, what it is. Aorta arises from the right ventricle, and the pulmonary artery from the left ventricle. So very simple, this transposition between two great arteries. So aorta arises from the right ventricle, and the pulmonary artery arises from the left ventricle. So what happens is, two separate systems, systemic and pulmonary systems, are developing, which is not mixing the blood, or which is not giving and taking blood from systemic and pulmonary circulation. So two compartmentalization is happening. So you can see the picture here. So from inferior vena cava and superior vena cava, impure blood is coming, and it is reaching the right ventricle. Aorta, which is transposed, takes the impure blood for systemic circulation, and it is coming back through the inferior vena cava and superior vena cava. Here in left ventricle, what happens is, pulmonary artery takes the blood from left ventricle, and pulmonary veins carries pure blood from lung to the left atrium, left ventricle, and it is again going for purification. So this purification is continued, and it is not available for the systemic circulation or aorta for systemic circulation. So this is the uh, compartmentalization is happening. No sharing of blood between the systemic and pulmonary circulation happens. So definitely the aorta carries impure blood. Child will present the manifestations of cyanosis. Hope you all are clear with what is TGA. Now we can see the pathophysiology, the same what we have discussed. Aorta carries unoxygenated blood to the systemic circulation, and the pulmonary circuit carries the oxygenated blood back to the lungs. The pulmonary venous return is to the left atrium and the systemic veins return to the right atrium. Okay. Two separate circulatory systems exist, one pulmonary and one systemic. So, usually in an adult or normal circulation, there is a giving and taking between the pulmonary and the systemic circulation. So, this giving and taking is not happening. Two separate systems are developing in this condition. So, this is about the TGA. So, an infant can survive this malformation initially only if an associated defect is present. Okay, this is very important. Like, there should be some abnormal flow should be there, that in terms of ASD or PDA or VSD. So, at atrial septal defect, ventricular septal defect or PDA, if it is present, in that situation, some amount of mixing of blood can happen so that aorta will get some amount of blood and it can be circulated. Otherwise, child cannot survive if there is no associated anomaly with this condition TGA like VSD, PDA or ASD. The child cannot survive because mixing of blood is required to survive. This coexisting lesion provide a means for mixing venous and arterial blood. Okay. Next is about the clinical features. Severe cyanosis immediately after birth is the hallmark of TGA. Legs being less cyanotic than the arms. Okay. Extreme cyanosis soon after birth, lack of mixing. So extreme cyanosis indicates lack of mixing. Okay, mixing means absence of VSD, PDA or ASD. Mild cyanosis if there is large arteriovenous communication. If there is a large ASD, VSD or a PDA, they can see this mild cyanosis. Okay, and immediately result in CCF before 4 months of life. So even though the mixing is present, immediately the child will shows the signs and symptoms of congestive cardiac failure. So extreme cyanosis indicates no mixing. We have to give some mixing for the baby. If it is a mild cyanosis, we can understand that there is a large arteriovenous connection, that is ASD or VSD. But if it is not managed properly, immediately the child will develop congestive cardiac failure. Child will be dyspneic, unable to suck, hyperapnea as the child attempts to compensate for decreased arterial oxygen saturation, metabolic acidosis from hypoxia, clubbing of fingers and toes, growth retardation. So, these are some of the other manifestations which can be noticed, and complications are very clearly we can understand that there will be definitely there will be complications and it can affect the can lead to the death of the child. Okay. Investigations, presence of associated defect like ASD, VSD, PDA results in heart sound mama. So you can hear mama if there is any associated mixing communications. Okay. Chest X-ray, progressive cardiomegaly and increased pulmonary vasculature. You can see some changes in the chest X-ray. And in chest X-ray, the typical heart shape is egg on side sign. Okay, egg on side sign. So you can see the side of the sternum is with a egg-like structure. So the heart structure or the shape is changing into egg on end sign. So this is the typical feature of TGA in X-ray or X-ray finding. So we have discussed that in TOF it was boot-shaped heart. In TGA it is egg on side. Okay. So ECG reveals right and left ventricular hypertrophy. Lab investigations are indicating the hypoxia and acidosis. Echo confirms the diagnosis and cardiac catheterization and angiography to identify the identify the abnormal communications, okay, like ASD, VSD, etc. Management, medical management with the IV, prostaglandin E1, digoxin, diuretics, iron, etc. And the surgical procedure, we know that the condition is very severe and immediately managing with a complete repair is not possible. So we do some palliative procedures just like in TOF. So the first one is Rashkind septostomy or balloon septostomy. So this is a non-surgical technique of enlarging the existing foramen vein so that intra-arterial atrial mixing of blood can occur by pulling a balloon through the defect. So we know that a foramen vein is present for the child during the fetal circulation. So that we are trying to increase in size with the help of a balloon procedure. Okay. So that is the Rashkind septostomy. Non-surgically, we are inserting a catheter in order to increase the size of foramen vein and preventing the closure of the foramen vein. So the ASD, instead of ASD or there is no ASD, in that condition we are trying to create an abnormal communication or a intra-atrioventricular communication, arteriovenous communication, that is between right and left atrium by Rashkin septostomy. We are inserting a catheter with balloon and we are trying to increase the size of foramen vein. Okay, this is the Rashkin septostomy. So here we are inserting a catheter and we are trying to inflate this balloon in the foramen vein and we are trying to increase the size of it. Okay. The second palliative procedure is Blalock-Hanian operation. So the term Blalock is Blalock toxic shunt I have seen in the TOF and it is a Blalock-Hanian operation. So this is a surgical technique of creating an atrial septal defect. If it is not possible to increase the size of foramen vein, we are trying to surgically we are opening the septum, atrial septum, and we are making as atrial septal defect. So that is a Blalock-Hanian operation. Okay. So you can see that a hole is made between right and left atrium. Okay, that is a right atrium and a left atrium. We are trying to make a hole. The third palliative surgery is the surgical technique of pulmonary artery banding done to decrease the pulmonary hypertension in the presence of an associated ventricular septal defect. So if there is a ventricular septal defect, much amount of blood is pumped to the pulmonary area, so that we are trying to reduce by pulmonary artery banding. Okay, this is the procedure of third palliative surgery or palliative procedure for TGA. The next one is surgical creation of a ductus arteriosus is if pulmonary stenosis and VSD exist. So here ductus arteriosus we are trying to create if there is pulmonary stenosis and ventricular septal defect. So that is a ductus arteriosus. Creation of ductus arteriosus. So this is the procedure of creating a ductus arteriosus between the aorta and the pulmonary artery. So that is the creation of ductus arteriosus. Okay. Next we can see the complete repair. So these all complete repair procedures are on trial. Okay. So the first operation is mustard operation in complete repair. That is a new atrial septum is created between from pericardium or a prosthesis. So here we are trying to create a new atrium with prosthesis or with the pericardium, so that two separate functionally correct atria are formed. So a separate atrial septum is created and we are trying to create two new atria, functionally correct atria. Okay, so this is the functionally correct atria we are trying to create, so that the systemic venous unoxygenated blood returning to the right atrium is directed to the mitral valve into the left ventricle and to the pulmonary artery and lungs. Oxygenated blood that returns to the left atrium is directed to the right ventricle and into the systemic circulation through the aorta. So this is the mechanism of two functional atria. Okay, so that we can understand that right atrium blood which is coming from superior vena cava and inferior vena cava is directed to the left ventricle. From there uh, from there the pulmonary artery will be taking this to the lungs. Okay, so oxygenated blood which is coming to the left atrium from pulmonary veins are directed to the right ventricle, so that aorta will take up this blood from right ventricle into the circulation. Because changing the position of great arteries is not easy. Cutting and resecting and fitting in a particular ventricle, it is not easy. In that manner we are trying to direct the blood from right ventricle to left ventricle and left atrium to right ventricle. So this is the procedure of Mustard operation. Okay, so thus reverses the function of atria. So that like this manner we are trying to reverse the functioning of atria, because usually right atria directs the blood to right ventricle, left atria directs the blood to the left ventricle. So instead of that we are trying to change the function of atria, like right atria to left ventricle and left atria to right ventricle. So this is the Mustard operation. Okay, the second one is Beff's operation. It have better results and partial redirection of venous blood, that is vena cava anastomosis, to the left atrium and pulmonary veins to the right atrium. Okay, so that the superior vena cava or the inferior vena cava blood we are trying to anastomose with the left atrium, and one or two pulmonary veins which is actually attached with the left atrium is made into right atrium. So this is shunt procedure can be done, that is a Beff's procedure, Beff's operation. So superior vena cava or the inferior vena cava blood we are trying to make into left atrium, so that left ventricle will be getting impure blood and it will be pumped to the pulmonary artery, and pulmonary veins are connected to the right atrium, so that right atrium and right ventricle gets the pure blood and it will be circulated through the aorta. So this is known as the Beff's operation. We are not trying to touch the great arteries, pulmonary artery or the pulmonary aorta, but we are trying to make availability of impure blood to the pulmonary artery and the pure blood to the aorta. So this is the Beff's operation. Post-operatively, symptomatic improvement is remarkable. Cyanosis and clubbing disappear in children. So complete correction is still in experimental stage. Complete correction means positioning the great arteries in a correct order, like changing the position of aorta to left ventricle and pulmonary artery to the right ventricle. It is in experimental stage. Okay. So generally the nursing diagnosis of child with congenital heart diseases. Okay, for all disease condition we can write impaired gas exchange related to disturbed pulmonary blood flow, decreased cardiac output related to reduced myocardial functions, activity intolerance related to hypoxia, imbalanced nutrition less than body requirements related to excessive energy demands, risk for infection related to compromised health status, fear and anxiety related to life-threatening illness, knowledge deficit related to long-term care and prevention of complications. So hope you all understood what is transposition of great arteries. Thank you very much for your kind listening. Have a good day.